Hello, good evening and welcome to the program. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV. I'm Datti Ahmed. Tonight, as the political temperature rises ahead of the 2027 general elections, alignments and realignments are intensifying across party lines, with key players positioning themselves for power. In the Labour Party, a new wave of concern is brewing. The party's 2023 presidential running mate, Datti Baba-Ahmed, has initiated a move to reconcile warring factions within the Labour Party. But instead of healing old wounds, this effort appears to be stirring fresh tensions within and outside the Labour Party. While the Julius Abure-led faction has welcomed this reconciliation push, the camp of Peter Obi and others on the other side, the party's presidential candidate in 2023, has rejected this outrightly, reaffirming loyalty to the Nnamdi Usman-led caretaker executive. So what is really going on inside of the Labour Party, and what does this say about the road to 2027, and can the centre hold? Tonight, we'll unpack the motivations and the manoeuvres, as well as the meaning behind the Labour Party's internal turmoil, in conversation with none other than the man at the centre of the storm, or the eye of the storm. Dr. Datti Baba-Ahmed is joining us for tonight's conversation. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much for stopping by.
How are you?
It's been a busy 24 to 48 hours for you, I reckon.
You've been busier than me.
Right, as the case is all the time. Some would say you appear to be a man on a mission over the past couple of weeks. How would you describe the objective of what you've been up to, especially taking into consideration what you've been doing, what you've been saying over the last 24 to 48 hours?
Well, can I say, your question allows me to arrogate some credit to myself. It's a bit angelic, because a good Samaritan, as they say, a good person, an angel, will always want to promote peace. A devil, on the contrary, wants to bring in division, chaos, and it makes me think somewhere, somehow, there is one devil organization out there with lots of resources that wishes to make sure there is no peace in any political party. In the same way that for over 10 years now, they have supervised the insecurity and our dying economy. So it's noble to preach peace. Only the well-guided, only the God-fearing preach peace, bring people together and sort out differences. That's been my mission. But the media is doing its job pretty well, but in so doing, some of it is actually being blown up. The case is not as bad as people think.
Which one? Because there are so many cases.
Yeah. No, the one that you started with. I have met with the Abure faction, and they are ready to sit with everybody. I calmed everybody down. The other team, the other side is actually saying what you're quoting, which they haven't told me, actually. Right, let's see what happens. This is only 48 hours now. And it has shaken everybody. Why are they so afraid? I went there to make peace, and they said that he wants to be the candidate. Now, who is doing that? There's somebody out there who is afraid of it. There's somebody out there who wishes to cause disunity between my boss and me. But look, we're too honorable, we're too smart. Right. And we're too close for that to happen.
Some would say...
I have clearly said that I'm in support of Peter Obi to contest 2027. Feeling which, the party is left to decide. And even so, I have said there's still another great Nigerian individual politician that, if he wishes, I will support wholeheartedly. Now, it's mischief makers that are saying that I want to run in 2027, which is not wrong to do, which is only right to do, actually.
Yeah, but do you also understand why people are questioning the timing? Because this civil war or internal crisis within the Labour Party has been brewing for close to 2 years now. Some are questioning, where was this effort 10 months ago, 11 months ago, 15 months ago? Why now?
Good question. But now you'll agree with me that you, the gentleman of the media, I call you people the media force because you are a force. You are now as powerful as the Nigerian armed forces. I mean, one of the arms of the armed forces. Yeah, you people are so powerful. You guys are blowing it up. You say civil war. There's nothing close to a civil war.
Metaphorically.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
But your metaphorics out there could pack a great deal of punch out there. Like I said, you people are now a force to reckon with. You shape opinion. In fact, you can cause that civil war. I hope you know.
Is that to say that the politicians are doing the job themselves?
I hope you know the media.
We're only providing commentary and
I hope you know
coverage.
The media can cause a civil war. Anyway, there's no civil war in Labour Party. Can you remind me your question?
Yeah, why now?
Good. Because now is when things have unfolded to this much. That is one. Two, everything depends on timing. There has to be the right time for something to have unfolded. We waited until the Supreme Court gave its ruling. And again, I was with the Nenadi group, went to INEC, until INEC now began to deal, or rather sustain the dealings with Abure. So the timing is exactly as things are happening, as they are unfolding. What happens is dictated by the currents at that point in time. So that is why now.
And what is your response to those who say you're trying to play both sides? You can't eat your cake and have it.
That is absolutely untrue. I am playing Labour Party. I'm playing the interest of Labour Party.
But that's what you hear from the Ninadi side. That's what you also hear from the Abure side. They're all claiming to fight for the Labour Party.
No, look, those sides really continue to exist in the minds of the manipulators. And the press continues to amplify. The sides don't really exist per se as people wish they were existing, really. Distinguished Senator Nenadi, a fine, distinguished public servant, banker, politician, rose to minister and all that, respects the law and has been leading this party well. And I never hid it. When it was time for Umuahia, as dictated by following the law, as far as following the law is concerned, Umuahia was right. As far as following the law is concerned, the visit to INEC after Supreme Court was right. And I was with them. And as far as the following the law is concerned, now that INEC is continuing to deal with Abure, including the Anambra primaries, then there is nothing wrong as far as following the law is concerned to stand with Abure. And when I stand with Abure, what did I say? I didn't say to hell with Nenadi, to hell with this. I said, no. I want all of us to sit down and please be one. So I'm not playing any two games, I'm playing one game.
And what is your understanding of this window of communication now? Because we've had the secretary from the Abure camp over and over on this platform, and he says, listen, it's radio silence. They're not trying to negotiate anything because as far as they are concerned, they're on the right side of the law. What is your reading of, their 2 cents about what you're trying to achieve? Because it appears that none of the sides is backing down about their control or leadership of the party.
It is astonishing how this matter is actually being blown so high. Without deviating, I just wish you, the media force, can actually blow some other issues high. Nigeria will start getting better. What happened a few days ago in the Northeast, those attacks, blow them up. There are killings that happen daily in the Northwest. Sacking of villages that you people don't. The economy continues to die day by day. But then, small thing between Abure and Nenadi is
you think it's
so
small?
sky high. Well, in the scheme of things in Nigeria, because this is politics, why, governance issues? I'll answer your question. I'll answer. I keep telling you, it is not as bad as you people are making it to be. I was there in person. I'm handling it. They are also handling it in their own ways, in their own wisdom. While some people back out there will do everything to ensure that there is no peace in Labour Party. Look, Nenadi Usman does not need to be not even interim or caretaker. She doesn't need that. She is an accomplished woman. Comfortable, achiever. She is doing it for certain national and noble objectives. That is why she's not fighting for the beginning of her career or the middle of her career. She has had a successful career. I can say the same about Aburi, a well-renowned lawyer, party leader, activist, and all those. He is also in his own right established. Likewise to the other, Senator Darlington is successful by all measure. Umar Farouk Ibrahim is a successful farmer in northern Kaduna. It's not as bad as you people are saying. Now, one side has said our arms are open and we're ready to discuss way forward for this party. The other side is saying, let us wait and see what INEC decides. And back out there, the powers that be that are controlling everything keep manipulating to say, okay, what is the worst case scenario? And that is the devil's work. Compared and contrasted to what a good work is trying to do, like bringing peace.
All right. And you have been accused of grandstanding, that Peter Obi didn't take part in this mediation because he has taken a side with conviction that what they're doing with the caretaker committee, which has now morphed into an interim leadership of Nenadi Usman, says a lot about what he thinks about what Abure and the other side are doing. Do you think that that is, in fairness, what is actually playing out? Because we have not seen the presidential candidate who appears to be the national leader of the party embrace both sides. He's on one side. You coming out appears to be contradicting what Peter Obi represents.
Absolutely not.
Do you have his blessings to negotiate this peace? Or his support?
Peter Obi knows everything that I do. Knows everything that I do.
So he approves of this?
Even Nenadi Usman knew I was going there. Nana Kazore was seated right behind me.
Right.
And I made sure that she came with us for it.
As an observer or as a participant?
As a participant.
Right.
Kai, you guys are too much. You really, really want to say that there is this problem.
But actually, like, holding your feet to the fire and
participant and
right.
all that. Look, left to me, politicking right now is not it. Governance is it. What's happening out there is it. And you will find me not so much of expertise in internal wranglings and this kind of he said, she said kind of politics within the party. That's the most difficult thing for me. Governance is my worry. So it's been a very difficult, like you said, 48 hours. I am doing a peace mission, reconciliation moves and all those. It's interesting, but it's difficult. Right. But what's even more difficult is managing the press. The first thing they said is to give out a wrong signal, which of course, the lie never gets anywhere.
You're saying that the media is acting in bad faith?
No, and you see that's the media.
No, I'm asking. It's a question, Doctor. You
don't put words in my mouth. No.
That's my understanding.
No. Look, I love the media. I love you guys. I've even promoted you. You are a force to reckon with in this country. You're so powerful. You can cause that civil war in a political party, not in the country anyway.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I don't think that is our end game. But there's also a point to be made, Doctor, about this perceived vacuum of leadership and your efforts recently to mitigate whatever damage, whether there's crisis or however you want to describe it within the Labour Party, has been seen as a move to fill in that vacuum.
What I said, and there was never such a word like vacuum, never. You guys are just too much. I can't believe it.
I mean, you are the major political figure in Labour Party that is wrapping his hands around both sides. That's essentially the question.
But there was no such thing as a vacuum. What I said is that, please look at our presidential candidate, my boss. His younger brother's property was demolished in Lagos, had to make some visits around 4 or 5 different states in the north, and then suddenly Daura happened. He had to go for the condolences. He came back, and one governor has been restricting his fundamental human rights. His desk is full. Somebody needs to help. Somebody needs to help out, and that person happens to have some measure of initiative, and I'm not one to overlook my responsibilities. That for sure, you know.
Right. Some have said that this issue has been lingering for close to 2 years. I mean, he has had time to mend fences. I mean, his attempt has been to throw his support behind Nnamdi Usman. But let's move on to other particular issues. I mean, obviously, you understand that this is an issue that has generated a lot of national interest because the Labour Party is a key player.
Thank you for that. Right. Yes, we are a key player. Right. Yes, we are the key player. But right now, please, the insecurity in Nigeria and the dying economy should supersede ongoings between our dear Senator Nnamdi and Abure. Please,
all right. Yeah. I'm sure you don't mind us switching gears and talking about other political developments away from the Labour Party. So let's talk about some of your takes on hot takes, I might add, on the coalition movement. You don't appear to be a fan of what's happening with the coalition from the get-go. Some have even gone as far as to say you are acting like a fifth columnist when it comes to coalition talks.
They are free to say so. But look, I am yet to be convinced. Let's take it step at a time. In 2013-14, a certain coalition was made, and what happened after? Disaster and bad governance. We say in Hausa that the faithful are never struck twice in the same hole. Nigerians are falling so easily again for that mistake. Are we not learning? If APC is what coalition gave in the past, are we not thinking and we just want to fall straight into yet another coalition? All I'm saying is, please stay back, think very well. Don't let excitement wash you into it. I cannot sleepwalk into an uncomfortable political arrangement. Nobody can close my eyes and hoodwink me at this with what has happened, with what I've seen in this APC 10 years, to repeat that mistake. The stakes are too high. Nigeria is just too important for us to repeat the mistake of 2015. So I want you to read whatever it's saying about me in the context of holding us from repeating the same mistake. People are used to asking, what are you doing differently? What is going on differently now? I have told you categorically, I believe in coming together. There is nothing wrong with coalition. It is a welcome idea. When the coalition came, they said ADC. I didn't argue, but look, who is ADC? What is ADC? Where were they in 2023? And I happen to know ADC pretty well. Some of them were my, I don't have to say, know them very well. Some of the leaders there. Okay. When we scored the reduced 6.1 million votes, where were they? And why now would you leave Labour Party and go? What is coalition? Coalition can happen at the ballot box. Coalition can happen when you are escorting your votes for declaration. That is coalition. But if we are working like zombies into the kind of APC coalition, I would scream and I would say this is wrong and don't do it. I'll do it. Now, another thing I want to say, for example, I'm from Kaduna State. As we hold this interview, there is a State House of Assembly committee on a certain leader from Kaduna State, just out of APC and actively in the coalition, whose commissioner and chief just came out of prison 2-3 weeks ago. You want me to close my eyes from my own state and follow such a leader? If that person was, for example, given a ministerial position or the SGF, you would have probably by now driven me out of Nigeria.
Yeah, but you know the law. You know the law.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
I know.
So why are you presuming that an allegation is the same thing as a conviction?
Come on. I'm not talking about any conviction. I'm talking about character. I'm talking about facts that are happening at that point in time.
But you make it sound like everybody in Labour Party, for instance, is stainless.
No,
I
think let's not go out of context. Let me finish answering your question again on coalition. It seems they want to straitjacket and control everybody's thinking and everybody's talks. I won't be part of those that they will control. You must come out blindly and continue their narrative. You are not allowed to think any way outside what they want you to think. The only way forward is the coalition, and that without coalition, okay, you cannot defeat tinubu, which in one of my sittings with you, I told you that is a big lie. It is not so. It does not hold, because we have proven not too long ago, one party came out in Labour Party in 8 months. As far as we're concerned, we defeated them. So you don't need, look, even if it is the 6.1 million votes that we got, it has been proven that you can, with time and the right mix of factors, defeat a sitting government. I'm in support of coalition done the right way. The coalition can be done, and given certain dynamics, Labour may be part of it, may not be part of it. Do you understand? And then Labour Party could grow and grow and grow in such a way that it is even more than a coalition. The bottom line, remember, is what matters, is the number of your registered party members. It is the number of votes that you get at the election. It is the declaration that is made if you are not rigged out.
Right.
So make no mistake about it. I am not one of those to be hoodwinked into into cheap politics, easy politics, that I will stand back and ask the right questions.
Right. Why do you appear to have a cynical viewpoint about what the coalition is up to? Have they given you any reason to believe that they're trying to hoodwink Nigerians like you into joining forces with them?
No, I have discussed this with you, unless if you want us to do an interview that we did before.
No, I'm saying if you have to be specific about what they're doing wrong, because you said you don't want Nigerians to repeat the APC mistake.
Because of your question, it's because of your question to me that they said I appear to be like a fifth columnist. For God's sake, I'm not. I'm not. I'm a promoter of union. See what I'm doing in Labour Party. In the same way, I would love the coalition to get everything right. If they're not getting it right, I should keep quiet.
But are you open-minded about negotiating some of the deal points that you think should be negotiated in terms of... Right.
Yes, I am. And which they don't seem to be doing. I told you that how is this going, primary is going to hold. Let's know.
And okay, let's double down on that and talk about another point that you made recently. You talk about zoning and how the South rightfully you think should get another term in 2027. Why do you feel strongly about that? Considering your points about big picture, Nigeria needs to develop, Nigeria needs to address all of these issues.
No, sir. No, sir. Again, another clarification. I was an aspirant in Port Harcourt 2018 for the 2019 presidential primaries. Records are there to show that in APC and PDP, the two leading parties, there was not a single aspirant from north of rivers Niger and Benue. And I read a very good message in it. They exercised restraint in the name of brotherhood, in the name of nationhood, in the name of understanding. Peter Obi could have contested. He had all means to do it. He didn't. Wike could have contested. He didn't. All the likes, Emmanuel Odom, others. So many, there is no shortage of them. In fact, even Uncle Tinubu, he could have done, but because he is so damn smart, it's not that he's smarter than us or others, but look, he restricted himself despite promises. He was not taken as VP. He gave another VP and all those things. They all stayed back. They didn't challenge. And so in 2023, I came up with that same principle that let us respect. I want every Nigerian to feel the kind of respect they share amongst us. And since they did it once, let's do it. Do you get my point? That's why I didn't say that there should be zoning. Idealistically, I would prefer we create new tribes, we create new geopolitical zones. For example, the tribe of farmers, the geopolitical zone of traders, the tribe of exporters, the geopolitical zone of industrialists, and then social strata, the youth, women, those kind of things. We're getting far into the 21st century, and we're still talking about geopolitical zones. No, I want us to create those.
But isn't that something you're using as a yardstick for selecting who the flag bearer is, for whether it's the Labour Party or any other party that is going to be in the contest for 2027?
Did you not hear when I said idealistically?
Yeah, but what about practically?
Well, practically, this is where we are. Then all the sentiments, all the forces are coming to play. I'm only answering your question as to what you're saying, that I said there should be zoning. Right. I never said so. My ideas are more sophisticated than that. Yeah.
So you would not necessarily be opposed to if, say, for instance, in Labour Party, if somebody from the north decides to challenge Peter Obi, if that is the case?
If Peter Obi is contesting, I will oppose someone challenging him. Even if that someone is myself, I will oppose myself to challenge Peter Obi. I would like Peter Obi to win again in Labour Party. All right. Yeah.
And you also said something that you want him to contest again in 2027 with or without you on the ticket. Yeah. Do you want to clarify why you felt that that was something you needed to say?
I'm just not that hungry for power. I'm not that ambitious. Look, I have a job. I have a trade. I really, really thank God. Even if I quit politics today, I can go back to my office and continue my work. And it's a good work, despite the bad governance and everything that is going on. I have. My main ambition, stop the killings. I don't want every time I read in the newspaper, there is a new dimension. There is some villages sacked, some place in Benue State, in Plateau State. And I don't like that kind of news. And I just cannot sit down and let, I don't want to use the word now, what I'll be thinking of that, and let bad people continue to misrule us. I can't. There is a, look, in the military there is an offense called desertion. Right at the battlefront, you abscond. Once they catch you is court-martial and summary execution. Anybody, Nigerian, that is qualified to participate in politics, not to contest, that refuses to, is engaging in desertion. Who are coming to fix Nigeria for us? Who are coming to provide the security and improve the economy for us? Who will do that? We have to do it.
Yeah, but that's kind of autocratic, isn't it? Democracy is about choices. If people decide not to vote on election day, that is still up to them, isn't it? You're trying to say...
You are just so impossible.
Right. No, I'm saying...
I don't want to quarrel with you.
No, I'm saying...
I don't want to quarrel with you.
Isn't it autocratic to impose, you know, say, for instance...
In the context of a dying country, let it be autocratic. Call it whatever you want. But if our country is dying, and you still choose to do nothing, then I wish to be autocratic to say that if you don't come out to provide good governance, yes, you have deserted your country. Call it autocratic, call it undemocratic, call it anything. Yes, it is.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about, you know, what is perceived to be the fillers, right? Because we're hearing...
following, just one more thing.
Yeah.
You see, we have so much good people in Nigeria. Unbelievable. In organized private sector, in banking, rich personnel, well-trained, intelligent, well-motivated, God-fearing. We have them. But the thing is that there is a so-called political system out there which you have to go through. Unless you are difficult people like me, by the time you go through that, and it continues to reject people like me, by the time you go through that, it must have cleaned out or squeezed out nearly every ounce of humanity or goodness in you. We have the good people to come out and fix Nigeria. We have the people, but they are not coming into the system. We are not liking the good people to make Nigeria as great as it can be. They are just not coming in, and the system keeps rejecting them.
Right. Yeah. I guess that speaks to some of the systemic challenges that you have been alluding to earlier.
Yes.
Well, if you zoom out a little bit and you consider what is at stake and who is going to get a significant share of the pie on election day, there are 4 horses in this particular race that a lot of people would consider the major horses. You have APC, you have PDP, you have Labour Party, and you have the ADC. Depending on what happens with the coalition, whether these 2 other parties, ADC and Labour Party, decide to work together, it remains to be seen. But it's clear that APC and PDP are on their own in the race. The APC is the defending champion.
Sorry, I lost you there.
Yeah, I'm getting to the question. If in terms of market share, in terms of who gets the biggest slice of the pie in 2027, if we have to go by, you know, what happened in 2023, and you now add another dominant player like the ADC in the election, how do you see a pathway towards success for the Labour Party if you have to compete with 3 superpower, you know, legacy parties?
Which is the other superpower?
APC, PDP.
PDP lost a 2-term Senate president. PDP lost a 2-term vice president that they gave presidential ticket. PDP still houses a giant elephant in its Chinaware store. Stop counting PDP.
So they're not. They're not in the race.
PDP is hardly in the scheme of things, which tells me that you need to update yourself.
No, okay.
What is going on? I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. Then you're talking of ADC. Do you know the fate of ADC as it were now? With the court cases that are certain, is very, very precarious. Let's come to the first one you mentioned, our friends in the APC. Do you know what we did to them in Lagos? After 24 years rule in their hand, we nearly doubled we beat them seriously in Lagos. They were sore, they were bitter. Even so, they denied polling materials in our strongholds. Remember when that young man, the architects, Badibo, remember what they did, what they did to rig him out. And add 4 years of drastic misrule after that. And you tell me that APC is still strong? APC is dying in the same way that they are causing Nigeria to die. That is why they don't want a party like Labour to continue to be strong. And that's why they will continue the disaffection between Abure and Nenadi. I say one thing, they go out and change it in such a way that they will cause disunity between me and my boss, which they can't. So who is left standing? Labour.
So, you don't have faith that the ADC will see the light of day. You don't think the PDP is as strong as it used to be, even though we are hearing from the grapevine that a former president is likely going to be back in the mix. At least that's what the speculation suggests.
Do you remember, I told you there is a certain individual whose name I will not call. And do you remember I kept saying this is an unfolding situation. As professional journalists, there are times you are reporting from a scene and you say unfolding situation. What do you call it?
It's breaking news usually.
Breaking news, but it's unfolding situation. Right. So it is a scene, it's a political scene, not a crime scene. From now to that declaration of the next president, which we hope is not going to be at 4 a.m. It shouldn't be at 4 a.m. Nobody should sneak. Do you know this great country called Nigeria, the president we have now, they sneaked at unofficial hours to go and announce him. It's all okay by us. Nobody is crying. 4 a.m. you go and announce a president. How do you think that his government will be? And that same president wants to come and win again. They are not going, or are they going to declare him 3:30 a.m. or what hour of the day? What kind of people are these?
Right, okay. It's safe to say that opinions remain divided about the chances of all the key political parties.
Yes, I mentioned that other candidate to you. And if that candidate comes out, again, he is going to change the dynamics of everything. Everything, he will change it.
Does your calculation, now change? Does your equation change if he is in the mix?
When it happens, I just told you, if and when it happens, it will change the whole game.
So just so we don't confuse our viewers,
yes.
At least I'm talking about speculations that former President Goodluck Jonathan might be in the mix for the PDP going into 2027. Well, let's talk about someone who has played a significant role in the formation of the APC and, of course, in the current movement for the formation of the ADC as the coalition platform. Here is the former governor of Rivers State earlier in the day in Port Harcourt, making some statements about what the ADC represents and what is likely going to play out in 2027. Have a listen to Rotimi Amechi.
This is just to say to you, there is a new party in town. I am tired of President Tinubu.
Hello. If you're not tired of President Tinubu, I am tired of If you are not hungry, no man If the rich men are spending 4 million a month for fuel, for electricity, only God knows how you are surviving. And the president said he doesn't care. He said he's not here to make you happy. ADC is here to make you happy. River State is notorious for writing results. When they write results, they claim they have won. I will not work with you if you will not match with those result matchers to announce results. You hear me? You hear me? God will bless all of us. Let's go to town.
Fearless, unapologetic as usual. Former Governor of Rivers State and former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, there speaking to a crowd of supporters earlier in the day regarding the prospects of the ADC and some of the damning allegations that he has made about, the quality, the credibility and integrity of our elections, especially against the backdrop of what he said has become the norm of writing election results, especially in Rivers State. Do you share some of the concerns that people like Amaechi, have to say about the electoral umpire? I mean, you just talked about the 4 a.m. announcement of the results, and you talk also about your chances of winning if Labour Party is in the race for 2027. How concerned are you about the credibility of the electoral process this time around? Because you still...
Sorry, how what?
How confident are you in the electoral process? Because you still, have some reservations about what happened in 2023.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Now, you heard who was speaking. He has been, first of all, let me tell you, I like Governor Amaechi. There's something common between us. I just like him because he speaks the truth. It's okay to say. Who is Amaechi? He was the runner-up in APC. Do you now believe me that we've been saying the truth? We've been saying the truth. I've been saying the truth. We don't lie. The election was fraudulent. They stole our mandate. He said, somebody who has been minister for 8 years, runner-up in APC, governor for 8 years and speaker for 8 years. For God's sake, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. And where he contested is the serving ruling political party. And he says they are notorious. Even though he said it's a state that is notorious for writing election results. It is out, open for the whole world to know that Nigerian elections are fraudulent. I want to turn my attention now not to the government. They are more powerful than me. Not to its agencies. There's nothing I can do about them. But me and us, the Nigerian people, you cannot continue to sit down and cry that your elections are taken away from you. Well, what are you doing? What do criminals have better than you? You just try to stop me now. I'm trying to tell Nigerians, psych them up, that it is their lives, it's their future come out, and you're telling me it's autocratic. That's very wrong for you to say, my brother, I'm sorry.
Right.
Wait, let me come back. Nigerians must come out and elect credible leaders and protect their votes, whatever it takes for their mandates not to be stolen again. That's why if you cannot practice democracy, democracy is not for you. Democracy is not 3 arms of government. It's that government of the people who earned their freedom, for the people who protect their rights by the people who extract the dividends. The more Nigerians sit down and watch criminals take away their mandate and destroy this country, the less Nigerians should talk. What is happening in other countries? What have we not seen in the last 30 years? Indonesia, Suharto, as powerful as he is. The people. The people's power is ultimate. Saddam Hussein was pulled out of a ditch. Gaddafi was pulled out of a water pipe. What happened to Mubarak? Mobutu Sese Seko, al-Bashir, Bouteflika Ben Ali. Who is Tinubu in the scheme of world affairs? But then also ask yourself, who is the average Nigerian? The average Nigerian is he who is willing to sit down and say, oh, no, what can you do? It's just another forest, let them finish.
Right.
That must change. If it doesn't change, Nigeria is gone.
You would put Tinubu in the same class as Gaddafi, as Saddam, as Mobutu Sese Seko. You put him in the class of your typical dictator.
Yes, I do.
You think he's a dictator?
Yes. You know why? Nigerian constitution is interpreted the way that suits Tinubu. He is a dictator. Because section 1342B couldn't be any clearer. There's nowhere in the world you can say "and" has a different meaning. A competent court in the United States said the certificate was fake. It's fake. Nigerians are accepting it. Democracy, I interpreted, is that the very, very last line is the people. Even after the courts. Yawwa. The courts are the final. The people are the ultimate. I repeat, the courts are the final. The people are the ultimate.
Given what has happened.
Given what has happened even in, is it Sri Lanka or another country that the lady had to leave. Whatever the people come out and do is constitution. It is legal. If it's the people, that's it. The constitution belongs to them. They throw out anybody, that's it.
Right.
Who can now tell me that the leader of Syria, who will come out and say he is not constitutional? Because it's the people's power that put him there, and there is no other people who will come out and say he can be there. He was not elected. He was installed by brute force. Brute force removed the other guy,
right,
and put him there. Now, let me just say, we are supposed to practice clean, modern, constitutional democracy in Nigeria. In so doing, we have a small and a minute number of people that break the system and make it suit themselves. So if you ask me that does he fit, with due respect, uncle, he fits.
Okay.
Because what are dictators is what they want to happen. And I'm telling you today, whatever Tinubu wants to happen in this our Nigeria, only God can stop it.
All right. Final question, if you can answer it in less than a minute, because we're completely out of time. Given what has happened in Edo recently, where you've also expressed your viewpoints about what Governor Monday Pobolo had to say about the visit that your principal made to the state, are you worried about your own safety, making such damning allegations or accusations against the government in power?
Somebody impersonated me on social media, insulted others. They attacked and did about the worst things they can do. Some other things that I don't want to mention now for other security reasons, because I don't want them to know that I know they're doing those things. They're doing those things. They tried to lure me to somewhere, plant dollars, and arrest me for that to go and lock me up. It didn't happen. 10 minutes to time, I got wind, and I exited. They tried to sabotage a certain equipment that I travel with, and I have the evidence. Now, that is not all. There was a strangulation in Lagos. It's not a lie, it happened. I'm not saying who did it. There were 2 aspirants gone down in Borno. It's not a lie, you have the evidence. I'm not saying who did it. But are they going to continue in this trajectory? Are they going to continue? Didn't we see the end of Saddam Hussein? Gaddafi, before he died, He killed thousands, tens of thousands of people before Gaddafi was pulled out and killed. Now, I'm human. I have a certain number of days to live, and God knows when and how. But what I also know is that this is my country. And bad people are spoiling my country and the future of my children and their children.
Right.
Is as good as the threat now to Nigeria is as good as any threat to me. Right. Other Nigerians should stop being afraid. What can they do to you that they haven't done already?
All right. On that very spirited note, I'm afraid, Dr. Datti Baba-Ahmed, we're going to have to end the conversation here. As always, for talking to you about some of these issues. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. I appreciate you very much for your time. Thank you so much. Right. Okay. That is our show for you tonight, as always. Thank you so much for your time and company. Daily Politics returns tomorrow live and exclusive on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. From myself and the rest of the team, we'll see you soon.